Deborah, I tell you what, why don't we,
But we're recording. I mean,
Okay.
We're going.
let's go ahead.
Going, video's going, and we're streaming. So you're back up.
Okay. So we're going to reconvene then at 7:55. I did it with a smile. Okay, so Councilman Mers had two more questions. He's had his hand up,
I know.
reminding me.
I
whole time.
remember.
Reminding myself more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
So I know you answered this to Mr. King, but I didn't quite catch the answer. So how much of that upper part of Alsatian Oaks is compliant with the minimum lot size for A3?
So we don't have the plat for this yet, so we don't know. I was just basing it off of what they've already submitted. It should be fairly similar. If it's
Really
fairly
close.
similar, it should fall within that like 7,200 square foot lots, or maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more.
But the existing development agreements would create that as existing non-conforming. I believe.
Isn't there overall lot average? What was it supposed to be? Do you remember in the agreement?
Yeah, the percentages for 50, 60, and 70 are spelled out.
Yeah, they are.
I'm just trying to remember what the overall average. The
So the
overall,
overall
average, I thought was
average-
8,000 and change, right?
The overall average of everything, including the open areas, was 12,000.
Oh, okay.
But you also have that drainage area going through there.
Yep.
And
Flat Creek.
Flat Creek, and you can't build in there. So all in all, gut feel wise,
It'd be pretty close.
it's going to be real close within
Yeah.
a couple of feet.
I would assume so also.
And third question, which might be for the city attorney, if I have a lot and one of these zones just clips the corner of it, so I have like a 1 acre lot and it's zoned to allow a duplex, and one of these just clips the corner of it, could I just not build on that corner that it clips, or does it infect the whole lot?
It's just within the zone.
Wait, she's thinking. You got a good one.
So I'm going to give the most favoriteest answer that everybody likes from the attorneys, like, it depends. Right? Because, just clips the corner. Is it sufficient information for us to be able to tell you, would that be impacted? I would suggest to you, if it clips the corner and we're talking inches, no. We're talking, it just clips the corner because developers will like to say, it just clips it just barely. And we're talking half a lot, then the answer would be yes. So he's going to impact that.
Okay.
But technically, you couldn't, if you just didn't build the structure inside the zone, then you're
So
free and clear.
Whatever your other densities are allowed within there, you can still, build to those densities. It's just if you wanted to build above those densities, the answer would be
Okay. And my comment was just that I really appreciate these detailed maps of the proposed zones.
I know. Yeah,
That's-
sorry. All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to see these and actually have what's being proposed in front of us.
Absolutely. Any other questions or comments? Herb?
Um,
Okay. Anybody else?
The only other thing would be if Mr. Lang
Mr.
or
Lang?
Mr. Friesenhahn wanted to say something.
I do have a quick question. So your current zone, your CZ
Mhm.
on the north end is completely enclosed by a property. Well, I think that the FAA also calls that an RPC, or Runway Protection Zone.
Mhm.
You go to the south end, that comes onto our property. I know there's a 4-acre, my grandfather allowed a 4-acre at the top of that field.
It's the aviation easement?
Aviation easement.
Navigation easement, thank you.
Navigation easement. Is there navigation, is there a planned navigation easement for that top part, additional top part of that cleared zone, that 5,000 foot?
You're talking about on this side right here?
No,
Oh.
south side,
On its property?
right there, your CZ.
Is there, so this dotted line right here is the existing RPZ. So if it's within that, then it should be within that aviation.
Navigation.
You have a navigation easement for that amount,
Oh, okay.
4-acre navigation easement currently.
Mhm.
What you're asking for there is much larger.
Yeah, I think by comparison, like the RPZ,
Uh-huh.
isn't that 16 acres?
Yeah, it's they're about from the end of the runway, depending on your runway length.
He's correct. The navigation easement to the south of the RPC
Yeah, I understand. I was just saying the RPZ on the north side, I think it's about 16 acres. So just for your knowledge, like
Yeah.
if we only have a 4-acre abrogation, well, then we're about 10 acres shy.
Yeah.
And the short answer is, well, we'd be happy to talk to you about it, but there's not a plan per se.
Cool. Please do continue to work with staff on dealing with that. Okay. Any other questions?
It's
All right.
20 now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just when I was going to leave. Yeah.
Good information.
All right.
All right. Next item is staff reports.
And for this, I'll just ask if y'all have some questions. There's a lot of good information in the staff reports. I reviewed them earlier today. I may be able to speak to some of the items, but yeah.
Okay. Any questions on the staff report?
Yeah,
We'll start with you,
comment.
please.
I noticed when I talked to Scott last week, there about concrete work and everything that's being done in the city, residential for existing citizens. Is there any way we can put something in the newsletter to say, hey, if you're having this work done, be sure to get the permit before you start anything? Because where some of this work is going on, there's a gas line, main and everything, and this company is known that they're supposed to have a permit. They're still working in the city without a permit. So I just, if there anything we can put in the newsletter to remind citizens, hey, get your permit done, approved before you.
The short answer is yes. I don't think it'll fix the problem, but yes,
Okay.
we can do that.
All right, and then my other thing was, and the tourism person's, Darren's Ham's thing on tab 8, the last page, with regards to working with a group out of Atlanta on the sports complex, exploring land next to Castroville Municipal Airport. So I have concerns with that property because of the comments that the gentleman said during the last EDC that we had. It would bring the amenities to and everything. We already have complaints about the lights for the baseball field, and now we're talking about a possible sports complex maybe going there next to the airport that could cause a lot of problems and a lot of safety issues for the airport with foreign objects, debris, possibly.
To be
going in.
clear with that, there have been a few proposed locations.
Okay.
There's at least one group that is looking to pursue this. The property owner has not engaged them with that, and that is the property owner's decision, not ours.
Right.
And so we open it up to different people because we know the need for it.
Oh, yeah.
The one that he's talking about specifically, they build. It's an indoor facility.
Yeah.
It's like
well,
40,000 square foot. That was all
Yeah.
indoor.
But still, there's the parking,
Yep,
all the other amenities.
absolutely.
So just for it to be mentioned, he just strictly mentions property next to the airport.
Right.
Doesn't say, oh, we're looking at possible properties.
Okay,
around town.
just for clarity on that.
Yes, yes. All right, that's it, all I have.
Yep, great. All right. I love that sound.
Yeah.
Love that sound.
Let's hurry up.
Just quickly, the animal control facility, I know you said you'd been up there, and of course you read this report. I'm glad to see we haven't ever lost an animal in the recording here. But in reality, when you look at those numbers, it really, the limitations that facility has to live under in the fact that it's in the middle of the sewage treatment plant, it really is functioning extremely well.
Yeah,
So-
we've looked at facility grants, and the challenge of the facility grants is most of them are going to tie you to a no-kill status,
Right.
and we just can't be tied to that.
Yeah.
Even though we're living up to it right now, we can't tie ourselves to it, so it presents some challenges. But thank you for that. I like I said, I'm really impressed with what they've accomplished.
You know, if we got a historic structure in town, and then we got the grant that Brianna talked about related to a grant for historic structures and rehabilitation, we could do that related to the animal control facility. And I'm just joking.
We will, again, we'll talk more about animals in October and really try to prioritize our needs because we have a couple of opportunities and different things to discuss.
And I think that Petunia's Rescue Friends is going to bring what I had in discussions with Corey and with Kyle. I asked them to. We've been kind of high centered on this because the county basically said, nah. So I told them, let's put together a business plan. Let's figure out what you need from the different ones. So they've already begun that. So hopefully we'll be able to support that and get it to a point where we can actually make a decision on it. Because right now we've just been saying we can't yet. And so I said, let's put it to a point where we can actually make a decision on it. We know exactly what the ask is. We know exactly what you're going to supply. And then we can bring that in front of
Well, hopefully they'll have it ready by October. That'd be great.
Yeah.
We're going to add it to our discussion. I do want to make one comment. So included in your in the staff reports is parks rules, and that's for your purview or for your review. They're going to come to you for ratification at some point in a future meeting, but that's why you see them. It made your packet quite a bit longer. But if you have any questions about that, if you want to go ahead and start providing us feedback, then we'll modify those rules when they come to you for adoption.
Okay. Are we getting a red line version of that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Councilman Merce?
I actually had a few questions about Brianna's report.
Please.
So on development ordinances adoption, do we have an updated timeline on when we'll actually be getting like a draft of the ordinance to review?
Yeah, so I just had communication with the CAP, which is the County Advisory Committee. We're first going to roll out the comp plan, and that should be coming out, I think, in the month of September. They're still drafting the ordinances, so those have not, like, what they showed us at that meeting, that was just something like a prerequisite to actually start putting the language together. So I do assume that's going to take a couple months, but we're going to start getting the downtown plan and the master plans out there for review in the month of September.
So ordinances, like actual ordinance language, you'll be looking at December timeframe.
Okay. And my other question is on the thoroughfare plan. It mentions that we're right now waiting on TxDOT and the county to finish their plans. The Highway 90 plans that you mentioned there, TxDOT's Highway 90 plans, is that the proposed widening of 90, or is that an alternate route, or?
Their master plan for Highway 90, so right now they're doing like a major study of all of Highway 90, and they're going to public comment, I believe, right now, because after the new year, I believe they're hoping in January they can actually put out what their plan is, because right now we don't know if they're gonna go north for the bypass, if they're gonna go south, or they're not gonna have one. We don't know. They haven't figured that out yet.
So
Or they go both. Or they go both.
Like, or all three. We don't know what's gonna happen. So.
Herb may get wet here in a minute.
Yeah, so, the county, so we've been working with TxDOT and the county on the thoroughfare plan, and so the county won't adopt their thoroughfare plan until TxDOT says this is what we're gonna do with Highway 90, because everybody wants to tie it together. We want it to be, what we're synchronizing together, because it doesn't make sense if you have a line on the map that the county doesn't have, that TxDOT doesn't have. And so that's what we're at.
But having said that, one of the things that we discussed as staff is the benefits of going ahead and adopting a thoroughfare plan for the city, because we can update ours. And it would be nice to have something on paper, especially for the areas in the ETJ that are under our purview and are under our control. And so that's like Olin Carms area. There's some areas that are just just right just north of our city that could be developed soon. And I think waiting on TxDOT and the county when we have a pretty well defined plan already, I don't know. Anyways, that's something we may bring to you in the near future as well, is the draft that we've been circulating. The county's seen it, TxDOT's seen it. They by and large have supported what we're promoting, but they have said basically we want to reserve final judgment until we get TxDOT's official plan. Well, that's going to be so far out of the city limits that I don't know how much of that.
And just, a couple of updates along that same about the traffic portion of that. So I would expect that, I don't remember what the next US 90 meeting is. I think it's in this next quarter that we'll meet up again. And that's when they're going to be making their recommendation. I've already spoken with our congressman, so we will have U.S. Congress support in getting this and potentially even financial participation to get the study done so that they can basically put the lines on the map. So I think that can actually happen if we can get that through with the study group, if we can get that to a point of them committing to that. I also received notification from Judge Lutz Thursday, I think it was, that we have been officially accepted into the MPO, the
Oh,
Metropolitan.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
We are
good.
officially now in that MPO, and what that does is that actually gives TxDOT access to a huge bucket of money that they can actually use for those improvements. Before, we had almost nothing. So there's a lot of things that are going on that, and I think that you got the email also from Bear County about connecting in. We're doing a lot of that stuff to coordinate between Bear County, Medina County, TxDOT, and the city, because we are the first speed bump west, unfortunately.
You guessed my next question perfectly. So thanks.
All
That
right.
was all I had. Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
Does Herb have anything?
Herb?
I got one update on, from Curl's court case pending. The occupants at 1714 Geneva have skipped out and left it a disaster. So I don't know what the city's next steps may be. I mean, they cleared out. So whatever,
Was that a rental, that home? No? Okay.
no,
Huh.
was not a rental. And it's a disaster. So just to give you that heads up.
Okay.
All
So,
right. Let's
So
follow up
the
on that.
person who owns the property left the property
Yeah.
vacant.
With trash and junk and, yeah.
All right. Next item is future agenda items. Anything that we haven't captured? I know that there were two things that we were talking about. One was the enforcement policies and procedures, and the other one was the basically the golf court ordinance. I didn't get a chance to catch up with the chief on either one of those, so those are my fault that those are getting delayed, but I think we'll have those. If the next meeting isn't going to be too long, we can probably include it there, but we'll
well, we
do it
did
in the
do
next 2 meetings.
enforcement. We did it in your absence.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
So we may need it, but we do need to get with him. And
I tried to listen to the recording and
Yeah.
strangely.
oh, brother.
Okay,
But you fixed that for us.
thank you.
I just wanted to make a note that the Parks and Rec Board has approved the park rules and is going to be sending that to us. And then a month ago, I had requested that the chief bring back information on how effective the increased enforcement on Lower Lacoste Road was.
That's in the pending list.
I put it on. I'm just
Perfect. Sounds good. All right, if there's nothing else, then we are through the agenda and adjourned at 8:13.
All right.
Y'all be careful going home.